model of it. This is Masada here. Stone vessels from the period of the Great Revolt, First Great Revolt.
These items, however, are of Jewish rebels who escaped from burning Masada, who escaped from burning Jerusalem, came to Masada, and despite the lack of probably basic needs, despite the despair, they tried to stick to their traditions. One of them is keeping purity. These are small purity vessels. They all died at the end. And 2,000 years later, we found some of them heavily weathered by the big fire at the end of this battle. Some of them kept in areas that were not burnt, and they look, the natural color is still there.
So what were they used?
Everything is original. Everything.
Stone vessel.
So,
and in the back, in the pictures here, are of the expedition. All of this was led by the charismatic leadership of Ibn Yadin. He was the one to bring the money and the forces. And many of the young students that were his supervisors were my teachers.
This jar is from First Great Revolt, 66 to 74 AD. These also are from the Great Revolt. This is from the period of Herod the Great. This pottery right here. Coins from the period of Herod. Oh, we have stones here. Slingshot stones of various sizes. This is from the period of the Great Revolt. Coins, pottery. This is from the Great Revolt, 66 to 74 AD. We have some glass vessels here also from the Great Revolt. This is also from the Great Revolt.
was actually aware of it, and he was in disagreement with it.
This is a wine jar from the period of Herod the Great.
It is worth to be a symbol.
We also have it's like metal vessels here. This is a glass hanging lamp, a bronze oil lamp and jug in Byzantine period. This is a little bit later from the Byzantine, and they built a church on top.
Here's Professor Yom Zafrir. Here's an officer. Look at it. Here's their uniform in Iraq.
Dig.
And many also overseas volunteers who came in, helping out. And the first time that volunteers were used, and students, and since then, this is a common practice of academic work. Salvage excavations is something else. Academic work is often working in the same manner. Let us now see a 8-minute presentation here about Masada. And then on the other look at the wall in front of me. This is part of the siege wall. Okay? One Roman camp is right below the cable car. I know you're not by the window, but I've been 8 Roman camps. The one underneath the cable car was partially rebuilt. Once we get to the top, you'll see it all very clearly.
This one right there, the
Time of the shopping.
He never felt the phone. His name, my dad, Dennis.
You can also buy
You feel like you cannot walk all these steps all the way up.
This way, I saw notice.
Yes.
This way.
Everything above the line has been reconstructed. I think everything below the line is original.
I've gotten lost before in here.
There you are.
Didn't want to stop in the previous spot because it was another group. But if you notice, as we ascended, there was on the left side a big hole in the ground, which wasn't plastered. This was not one of the water reservoirs, but rather a quarry. But its location is not coincidental. At the same time that it provided the stone, it also created a moat, a barrier. Behind it, there was a tower, so now right behind it, okay? And it forms some boundary to protect the northern part of Masada from the rest of the mountain. You really see Herod's paranoia here. And if this is not enough, well, that the bird is standing over the edge of that rock. It's all plastered, it's got a sharp angle. That's also a protection line of the palace itself from the rest of the mountain. You can really see Herod's attempt to create lines of protection. Not much evidence of this, and we think that it had wood cover at other halls. Where is the wood then? Maybe they use it to protect against a Roman attack, and that's why it's missing.
Burn fires or something.
Here is what it looks like after partial excavation. the complete excavation. This specific hole has 3 holes in the middle. Another enigma. Guido Nadas recently proposed that this is also related to the pound date jam industry. That they made here Silan as well. Okay, let's go into the back.
Thanks. That's the holes.
This is the bathhouse here, what the bathhouse would look like.
First, I think he had an agreement with the priest.
This is the bathhouse.
It's
We
not
really
safe.
don't know
On
where
the other
he got
hand,
it.
we can estimate the numbers mentioned by Josephus as well at the end of this case, which there is an article by an economist, the economy of King Herod, and he suggests that his wealth reached to the level of being third of the emperor himself. And he was third of the emperor. Yes, it sounds amazing. He could make so much wealth in his life.
It's funner this way. You have to guess who's going.
Hello.
All right, we got enough of them.
This is enough. We can email.
Ok, vengan un ratito aquí.
Lunch.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Wow. What probably happened to it? The Romans burned it all?
Oh, it's still down there. You can go
Yeah,
down.
you see
I
what's
know,
left of
How did Josephus get a recording of all of this? How do you know? The Romans do not have a Roman record of this story. It's all by one single source, Josephus. He already gives us that information. It says that 2 women and 5 children who didn't care to join this all hid in the gutter system, and when the Romans arrived, they came out and told them of what has happened. Okay, and this is supposedly how he got it. He wasn't here at the battle. He was already a prisoner. Just some of it in a cave over the southern edge. But 25 at most. Men, female, children, but just 25. They brought in a very special ceremonial way for reburial at the bottom of the ramp. We'll see it from the next angle. But I'm sorry, where's the rest?
Did the Romans
And how do you,
occupy
and if
this
they,
area?
and just a second, if they committed suicide, then who took them to proper burial?
What if they cremated them?
Okay. For one thing, who treated the bodies later? I argue for the following sequence. This is my own personal attitude. These were not the rebels who committed suicide. These were the people who died here for natural causes or lack of supply or diseases, you name it, in the 3 to 4 years until the Roman arrival. Okay? And the locals here brought them for proper burial outside the limits of the city, as Jews always do. This is the cemetery of Masada when it was handled by the people living there. Where therefore are the bodies of the 960? Not one piece of stone found on the surface itself. Very big problem. Okay? Very big problem which the critics use to argue the whole story is fabricated. The Romans never came here, or the battle never took place. Excuse me, the battle never took place. Josephus wrote this to create some sort of a great dramatic ending to his book. Exactly. So one figure is arguing this was a Roman drill which they did here later.
Didn't the Israeli government carrying the bodies and then
Of the
it was
25.
Yeah, the
25.
and then it was
Okay?
That's fascinating.
But where are they? It's really a big problem.
Did the Romans
I
like
argue the answer is very simple, but it is a big problem. What is the answer? Josephus tells us that after that battle, the Romans left here a garrison, left here a small force to make sure no Jew even thinks of using this place again. Imagine yourself a platoon commander, 960 bodies walking around. What would you do? Burn them is the Roman answer, but we never found a big pile of ash with remains of bones inside. Other option?
I throw them over.
Throw them over the cliff.
The animals get them and scatter them.
2,000 years after, with flash floods and animals, if there are any remains, they're in the Dead
Did
Sea.
see.
Okay?
That may
For
happen
me, it
soon.
makes perfect sense. Guy Stiebel disagrees with me. Not disagrees with me, but he presents another possibility. The Romans just threw them into one of the big cisterns, and we have a lot of cisterns here. Which one? There is one on the eastern side, next to the entrance, which Yadin didn't excavate, and Stiebel hasn't excavated yet.
Wouldn't that be something?
It's beyond me. Why don't you? Then go ahead, do it. You do have some budget here. Why don't you figure this out? Perhaps because he doesn't want to deal with the consequences. The ultra-Orthodox, a global cultural war could go over this.
They had enough problems with the 25.
Yeah. Okay?
The rebels may have made these to throw at the Romans, roll them down the hill.
Century? If a century, no, in modern terms, what's
The
the word?
Romans.
Battalion?
Too big for
Three
catapult.
platoons make what?
Three platoons.
Company. If a company goes against a target, and a few of those are rolled against them, it's like a machine gun. It will hit a few people on the way. Okay? This can be very deadly. So to fight, to resist them, for some reason they never got to use them. We found them on the top. In Herodium we did find them also at the bottom, and maybe they will find one day. I don't know that they did, but perhaps there were also such stones which were used. The wall behind me is plastered to make it more difficult to climb on, but we didn't find it like this. We found it with lots and lots of layers placed against it, as if someone filled the earth here to reach and go over it, and we found arrowheads in that field. Excuse me, what do you make of this? Is this not an attempt, a battle over the Northern Palace? Which means after reaching the top, there was still someone resisting them here on the top of Masada. So there was definitely a battle even beyond the conquest of the top. How do you fit it with the suicidal act? Okay, and this is where I think we need to reconsider Josephus' writing.
Well,
Some people may have committed suicide. Some people may have fought till the end. Okay? Josephus wants to end his book in a very dramatic way. And perhaps he creates such a story. Even the ostrakas, they don't really fit the story. Josephus says that there were 10. How many ostrakas did Yadin find? 12. So he says, okay, one of them had a spelling mistake. They wanted to write Binyamin and it said Beni, so they made 2 copies. And therefore you had 10 warriors plus Ben Yair. It fits.
the two surviving.
But these are the hard questions that needs to be addressed. And while Yadin was alive with his character, no one would dare to approach him and ask him those questions. But 30 years later, we allow ourselves to express some.
Here's the big cistern to catch all the water. Oh, looks like it goes back in. Cistern. Mikvah. can see the northern palace here.
Against the people of En-Gedi and killed them all. Jews, robbers. Okay, that's part of the Masada complex. Are these to be a symbol that we should all, mention in military ceremonies? That's why we don't do it anymore. Okay, but archaeological reality, I must add, doesn't necessarily show us a very clear picture of zealots up here on the mountain. In fact, it presents some remains which seem to indicate this was a mix of refugees. Maybe the leadership were the zealots, but the rest were women, children, Essenes. Okay, we found little bits of scrolls, not a lot, but some to indicate that maybe people from Qumran ran away to the site, and maybe even Samaritans.